Hello, everybody, and welcome into Illiana Stock Car Radio, episode number 65. Your host, Jeremy Banning, here alongside Chris Goodacre and the man that needs no introduction. We're not even going to introduce him as a guest because he's pretty much like a third host anyway. So, Jasonmoorhead with us tonight. Jason, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing excellent, Mr. Banning. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, Chris. Good to see you this evening.
Yeah, I'm glad to. I'm like rested and relaxed, and I think we're good.
Rested and relaxed. What is that?
That's what happens when we get a monsoon go through in the middle of summer.
Yeah, I had to actually drive home today in the ARC with all the rain we've had lately. I mean,
I saw animals lining up 2x2 down Main Street. So.
Yeah. I'm about to say, green pool guy over there in your neck of the woods, Jason, he can't have any more of that green water left. It's probably all like washed out.
It is. He's clear pool guy right now, man. I'm impressed.
That's like the quickest he's ever gotten that thing turned around, isn't it? Especially
with as bad as it was looking. I mean, he had ducks living in it just weeks ago.
So I've always wondered, is he in on it? Does he know that he's...
No idea. No idea.
He does not know
this, but no, he has no idea.
He has no idea that he is the infamous green pool guy.
He doesn't.
Man, if he only knew, man. If he only knew he was Facebook famous.
It was kind of a couple of years ago. His son is in high school and plays on the football team, and came over and knocked on my door and asked me if I wanted to buy one of those football cards. and I thought that was karma testing me. I don't normally buy those. I'm like, I never use them. They just sit around. It's like, $20. Whatever. and I thought, that's karma testing me. Yes, I'd be happy to buy one.
Yes. Yeah. Here. And here's some money and a couple chlorine tablets. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Good stuff. Well, it's our monthly episode in June. I know everybody out there probably thought we weren't going to make it, but we're...
I was kind of under that impression.
Well, see, here's the deal. We had 2 camping trips back to back, right in the middle of June. So the 2 weeks really turns into 3 because you got the week up beforehand prepping, the week in between turning everything around, and then the week after to recover and catch up on all the stuff that you missed. So there's 3 weeks right there. And here we are, June 30th, just in the nick of time, getting our June episode in. So
is that why I got that text at 4:30 today? Could you please be on?
That's usually what it is, because it's like, oh crap, I probably need to put something together. And then it's a scramble. We went to the whole monthly thing, and I figure, man, this is going to be great. I have a whole month or so to prep and get ready and kind of plan out the shows and the guests and stuff. And it's no different. We're still scrambling within the last two days to put stuff together.
You just take 3 weeks off in between them.
That's pretty much it. Instead of taking, it's the 1 week off, I take 3 weeks off, and boom, here we are again. But really looking forward to tonight's show. Obviously, Mr. Moorehead is so gracious to grace us with his presence this week. The resident hydration specialist here. So yes. It is. What are we drinking over there, Jason?
Squirt. Cheers.
Squirt. Yes, there you go. Just got water.
Oh, you're ruining the game for Zolod's, guys.
I've got a water here too.
Yeah, so he's back. Well, no, Zolod's deal is to guess what's in your cup, Chris.
Oh, right.
So that is the deal.
Well, that's because I'm all about shameless self-promotion.
.com. All right. I wanted to beat Jason to the punch there on that one. We got Jason here with us tonight. We're going to talk some racing, everything he's got going on this season. Also expecting and awaiting on Alex Clubb, owner-driver, Richmond Club Motorsports in the ARCA Menards Series. Hopefully he will be joining us a little bit later.
If you have contact info on Alex and you're watching, maybe give him a poke. Tell him he's supposed to be in the green room. Yeah,
I sent him a message, and we'll see if that comes through. If not, you know what? We're going to have fun with Jason anyways, and we will press on. Yeah. I mean, heck, why not? I mean, what else we got to do, right? Just sit around and talk some racing, right?
Exactly.
So let's get around to that. Local racing spotlight here with Jasonmoorhead, presented by S4 Motorsports Marketing. You can find S4 Motorsports on Facebook and Instagram. See how they can get your small business message out front with on and off track motorsports marketing. That's S4 Motorsports, and I know they will be on the road doing the Hebron 4th of July parade on July 3rd.
Yeah, I noticed they finally found their way to a racetrack last couple of weeks.
They did. That is true. Here, the little doubleheader the other night didn't necessarily go that great for them.
It could have gone a lot better for a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, so, there are several people that could have gone a lot better for, but it didn't. But yeah, found their way to the racetrack. I'm honestly not sure the next time we will find the way to the racetrack, but probably in the next couple weeks, I'd assume we will be back. Speaking of back to the racetrack, Jason, you took last year off pretty much. I think you only made it out to the track once, but took last year off. Can I explain the reasoning behind that and kind of what led to that decision?
Really, I was just burned out. I mean, 2020 was a year for everybody. Nobody had any fun in it. I actually think I made it out to the track twice. And the 2 times I made it out to the track, I just didn't have any fun. I burned myself out building a new car over the winter and was tired of working on it and tired of doing stuff around it. So I decided to basically take the year off, and I put a pool in the backyard. So, I spent the summer with Sarah in the pool and just had a good summer and enjoyed it.
Yeah, we were kind of talking off air before we got on, and we were kind of talking about trying to have some fun in racing. You mentioned, the last couple of years for you just hadn't been that fun.
No, I wrecked a lot and destroyed one car in Evil. Finally had to junk that one, and then that's when I built ET. And even last year, the 2 times I went out, I was involved in an incident and fortunately didn't do too much damage, but enough that I was just I needed a reset. So did that this off season. Did a little bit of work to the car. The Hoosiers, as much as I didn't see the light with Hoosiers and didn't think it was going to do what everyone said it was going to do. I actually talked with Paul Biddle and Corey Woods, and they kind of explained to me why Hoosiers were going to do what they were going to do. And then this year on Hoosiers, they were right. It's doing what it was going to do. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, give us some insight, Mir. Here, I like the technical stuff, man.
Well, basically what Corey and Paul had explained to me, mostly Paul, was that, with DOT tires in these cars, there's such a small window to hit to make it handle right. And some of the teams out there that have, 3 and 4 cars and have been doing it a while, I'm not mentioning names, Davis's, they have it figured out. They found that small window and their cars are fast and you're not going to catch them. But with Hoosiers, that opens that window of handling up a lot. So in our short races, it will compensate and help you. Now that longer 40-lap race, I didn't have a perfectly handling car, but the Hoosiers hid that. By the end of the race, I had overheated that right front so much that my lap times dropped by almost a full second. So it will help hide it in a short race. In a long race, it's still going to be there. But, the Hoosiers are doing what they said they would do, is they are bringing the field closer in times, and one person isn't dominating. Now I will say that you get probably a couple of cars that are really fast, like Derek, Dave Keys, Jason Harmon, myself. I'd probably even throw Carl Prince in there. If one of them got on the lead, it's going to be hard to pass them whether you're faster than them or not. I know David Keys, the first week I was out there, I was faster than him. I couldn't get around him. There was no way I was going to get around him. Because our cars are still so close in speed that I could roll the corner and get up to him, but on the straightaway he'd pull away from me. And every time I'd get close to him, I couldn't get around him. The Hoosier tires are good in one respect, but make it difficult in another.
Sure. I mean, everything's kind of about balance, Yeah. I mean, you just mentioned it, man. The competition in the front wheel drive class there at South Bend is it's phenomenal.
Yeah, just a few times I've actually been able to make it out there this year because, schedules are fun. But yeah, the front wheel drive class, that seems to be where it's at this year.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I picked up almost a full second on Hoosiers. Other guys haven't picked up as much, but, still I think the track record was set by Carl Prince at a 13.2. We're running street stock times pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think the top 3 or 4 cars probably would make the street stock A. So we're quick, and it's great competition out there. I just wish we'd have a larger car count.
Yeah.
We're struggling with 14 to 16 cars.
Do you think that's a price thing where people look at the car, maybe think, hey, I'll just go to the Hornet route or I'll go to the street stock route? Is it kind of stuck somewhere in between there?
Yeah, I think it is. You start looking at a competitive front wheel drive, they're $6,000 to $10,000. Where it used to be you could get a competitive front wheel drive for $2,500.
Right.
And a street stock, from what I've been told, about 10 grand. So the payout is a lot better with street stock. So, yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I think it's the cost that what we're getting to.
Sure. Of course, that big old dollar sign there in racing always starts to creep back up.
Yep.
No matter what you try to do. So you talked about switching over to the Hoosiers and gaining time there. What else did you find? I mean, we don't have to get in specifics because obviously some of your competition is here listening. So I don't want to give away all the secrets.
I'll lie to them. It's okay.
Hey, as long as you make it sound good, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, what, I had to go to work over the off season, maybe once the batteries were recharged a little bit to get ready for this year. I mean, what was the focus heading into this season with the car?
Just little odds and ends. I took the car back over to Glenn, who did my cage at C4 North Fabrication or 4C North Fabrication. Glenn, everybody knows Glenn. I took it over to Glenn and he did some updates on the cage for me. Moved the door bars. I was hitting my elbow on them. I took it to the tuner and had a little work done there. That's really, I added a hood scoop.
Did you put some Jeg stickers on it? Because that had to add horsepower too.
Underdog stickers.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
There you go.
Because I might as well be the underdog out there because I'm not there every week and I haven't won a race since I was on your show last time in 2019.
Well, okay.
Well, now hold on. Were you on before or after you win? Because this might be a good omen.
Before.
Well, there you go.
Before, called my shot and said I'm going to win Saturday, and I went out and won Saturday.
All right. Well, when are you racing next then, Jason?
I don't know. It's if I don't race Friday, which I don't think I am because I think we're going to the lake on Friday. So it'll be the 17th. Mm-hmm. So the next time I race, I'm winning.
See, it's calling.
All right, well, there you go.
I mean, I don't know how long the Illiana stock car radio juju lasts. I'm not sure how long the good luck lasts, but I mean, if we got to have,
I'm going to say next time you race.
Yeah, if it goes to the 17th, then we kind of know the time frame.
Yes,
and then we'll know so that way the next time you're on here, we at least got that window figured out.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you talked about the car's been fast this year, man. It did pick up a heat win. It's a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, when you were leading the feature, you broke out.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. Talk about that, man. I mean, how does that happen? Because when like us as competitors, right? We hear somebody broke out and they were cheating, they were sandbagging and qualifying. That's the natural reaction as a competitor. Out there at the track, but I mean, take us into it a little bit more. I mean, I don't think you're going out there with the intention to sandbag and qualify and then hammer down in the feature. So, man, can you just kind of talk about how that happened, kind of what you had to do, and I mean, I think you came back to finish 6th in that one.
I did. So, here's the ironic, frustrating part. Whatever. The last 2 races I've been leading, I broke out. It was my heat race at Springport, and then the feature at South Bend. South Bend, my car it had a horrible push all through qualifying and practice. I had purchased some new Hoosiers and I had those on and they just were not coming in. It was pushing horrible. And I could not get a handle on it. Tried. So for the heat race, I thought, all right, I'm going to put the old tires back on it. I was starting on the outside of the front row. I thought, I can pull him, I can take the lead, and then I'm just going to go run away and break out. Figure if I break out in the heat race, then I don't have to worry about breaking out in the feature. And then I figured if I can't break out in the heat race, then I'm not going to break out in the feature.
Right.
So I went out there and ran away and drove it as hard as I could and didn't break out and went, all right, cool. So the feature started and I looked at where I was starting inside the second row and I went, okay. I don't think the outside line is going to move. I'm going to get around them. I'm going to jump to the outside, pass Clyde on the inside, and I'm just going to go run away. And I did for about 23 laps. and here's the killer. So you got to run 2 laps, 2/10 under your time.
Mm-hmm.
1 lap, I ran like a 13.5. So I was like 3/10. The second lap, I was 2/1000ths under my time. I was looking through and I went, 2/1000ths.
You're like, man, if I just would have let off a little earlier.
Yeah.
Something.
So, it was not sandbagging at all. It was just purely, I could not get the thing to turn at all. And I don't, it got, obviously as the night got cooler, the track got more rubber in it. It was after the Outlaw late models. We ran near the end of the night. So it was, there was a lot of rubber in the track and it was sticky and it ran well.
Right.
So it was just, car didn't handle well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that happens. Definitely, like you mentioned, transition from day to night.
With the time gap they've got there, we're practicing at like noon, and then your feature is almost midnight.
Yeah, well, I got to give them props. They've been running really good on time this year.
Yeah, yes, they have.
They really have. We give them a hard time about starting features at midnight, but I can tell you the 3 times I've been there, I've been home by midnight.
Mm-hmm. There was one night I think they were done at 10:30.
Yeah, I was there one week. They were done at 10:30, and I was home by 11.
Yeah,
so
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a normal race night. Just about any short track you go to.
Yeah, I mean when I went up to Springport and ran, I think we were done by 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the 2.5 hour drive, I was home by midnight.
Yeah. Talk about going to race up there. Just decide, hey, you want to go up there and race, or are you going to see friends, family up there, and just thought, hey, I'll bring the car with me, or
yeah, all the above.
Yes.
I grew up in Jackson, which is Springport is in Jackson County, so it's a neighboring town. I went to Springport in 1989 when they opened the track as Michigan Ideal Speedway and watched the first race ever run there, and went back a couple more times before I moved away. So I always wanted to go back and be on the other side of the fence. And so I kind of let some friends and family know in Michigan, and I had, aunt and uncle come out and watch. My aunt watched. My Uncle Bob came. My Uncle Bob's legally blind, and he came out and watched me race, and he just went blind recently. So, he'd been to a lot of short tracks. So, he was my spotter. And, after the race, he came to me and he goes, okay, this is what you need to do. he was right, it was my car was the only one that was chipping out halfway down the straightaway, so he could pick my car up very quickly.
Right.
And I had probably, I don't know, my parents drove up, so I had like 6 or 8 people there that, friends and family from the area. They came and watched. So that was really cool. And just, wow, what a fun track.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
It's a big 3/8. I believe it is 20-degree banking in the corners, 10-degree down the front straightaway, and 14 down the back straightaway. Wide, easily 2 to 3 lanes wide, 4 if you really pushed it. The problem is just my car wasn't geared for it. When I qualified, I put it in 3rd gear because it was the first time I've ever been to the track. I'm like, I'll just run 3rd gear and see. And, I struggled, qualified mid-pack with a 19.0091, I think is what it was. Qualified mid-pack and went out in my heat race and started, 2nd or 3rd row on the outside. And the first 2 rows, for some reason, they all wanted to be on the bottom. And first turn, I went high and passed everybody, went to the lead and went, all right, cool. Well, when it came to the heat race, I thought, let me try 2nd gear and just chip it and rip it and see what happens. And by the 3rd lap, I broke out. So chipping and ripping it was really a lot faster.
It did work.
It worked. There, if you break out, you just pull off the track. You don't have the option to go into the back of the pack.
Right.
So I thought, all right, well, for the feature, then I got a new time. I'm starting at the tail of the field. I'm just going to chip it and rip it and see what I can do. And worked my way through the field and never led, but I got up to 2nd at one point and blew a restart because under caution I was cruising around in 3rd gear and didn't think about shifting back to 2nd for the start. So as we came in out of 4 for the green and I stepped on the gas, it didn't go. I had to downshift and lost 2nd. But it really fun track. The guy that won it, Eric, he's won every race this year out there, and the guy that got second apparently has gotten second every year out there, every race this year. So I was first in class.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
That was worth.
Right. Yeah. What all the local guys up there think about you coming in and ringing in their show?
They were all very welcoming. I didn't get any side eyes from anybody at all. Obviously they were a lot more welcoming when I was mid-pack.
Right.
If I came in and run third fast, they probably ought to looked at me funny. But no, I mean, they were all really great. Very welcoming. When I pulled in behind this this kid named Eric Bennett, and the guy, I guess, a kid. He said, "Oh, you can come park next to me. I'm over here." And, real nice guy. I parked next to him. We talked, hung out. Just everybody's really nice, welcoming. The pits were beautiful. I mean, it was like a campground. It was all grass, very well manicured, very little dirt. The track had bathrooms and concession stands, and it was a very nice track. I do want to go back one more time this year. It's just a long drive, but it really is a nice track.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of tracks, I mean, anywhere else kind of on the list to maybe go try? Grundy, anything like that?
Well, this year and next year, yes, I'm racing for fun. I'm not racing for points anymore. So I'm going to hit US 41 Dragway probably sometime after the 4th of July at a test and tune. I'm just going to take my car straight. I'm not changing the setup. I'm not taking the camber out of it. All I'm going to do is put my right rear on the left front, so at least they're the same size. And I'm going straight. I want to see how fast I can go.
Right.
So I'm going to hit drag strip. I want to do at the SCCA solo things they do over in the parking lot at Deep River. I'm going to do one of those this fall. I've got another car that probably isn't going to get built this year, but maybe this winter, Elliott, that I'm going to go race.
I didn't even give you my notes, and that was the next thing we were going to talk about.
So I'm gonna build Elliott. And yes, for anyone that wonders, Elliott was
Bill Elliott.
Kid on ET. No, the kid
was it?
Kid on ET.
So yeah, I'm going right to Bill Elliott with your like melting connection over there.
ET or Evil's twin, but ET and Elliott, the boy.
All right.
So I'm going to build that car, and hopefully I'm going to run some dirt with that car, run some enduros. I want to take that up to another one of the tracks that I grew up going to, which was Butler Motor Speedway. So I want to take that up to Butler next year if I don't make it this year. I got the car. It's gutted. I just have to put a cage in it. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some tracks. Maybe I can take that car to Grundy because I don't, ET is not Grundy legal. I think I would break out and they'd probably tell me I have to run with the street stocks or something. And I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah, definitely don't want to do that.
No.
Let's see. What else do we got going on here?
You can ask me that question. I'll answer it again.
Yeah. About that second car you've got going on.
Well, that second car I got going on right now, it's sitting in a garage until I finish it.
I just, thought MoFast was expanding to 2 cars, and maybe you'd need some podcast host ringer to come in and drive it or something. I mean,
you know what, Jeremy? You are welcome to drive that car. That is, yes.
The Flintstones it right now, but
it runs. No, it just needs a cage. That's I bought it. The kid I bought it from tried to run it at South Bend in a Night of Destruction in the trailer race. I think he ran 1 lap or a half a lap, got stuck in the mud in the infield, and it sat there. So it was, it's a Night of Destruction car, so it's not pretty, but it's
not yet anyway.
I'm not going to make it pretty. It's I'm going to go racing on dirt, and
Hey, I've seen some pretty dirt cars the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Well, mine's going to be more like, the last 2 weeks.
The last 2 weeks.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, do like a 24 hours of lemons or something with it.
No, I'm not going to do 24 hours of lemons. Chris Sandberg, he's done a couple of those, and though they sound fun, I don't know. It's a lot of work for those. I'd rather do the dirt. Like I got a derby stuff coming up end of July. Is that wait? Before I talk about derby stuff, are you going to lead into questions with that?
No, I wasn't. So hammer down, man.
Okay. So
I'm good, but I'm not that good.
So yeah, the fair coming up the end of July. Derby season is in full swing. So Starting after the 4th, Chris and I will be busy at the MoFast Speed Shop South Annex,
Right.
or also known as Sandberg's. Sandberg's going, prepping the, I don't know, 5 or 6 derby cars that they have down there. One of them will be mine. It'll be a Honda Civic, actually. Go figure.
Do we get rid of all the big American iron or what?
Well, we're doing figure 8 derby.
Oh, okay.
So it's front wheel drive figure 8 derby. We're not doing team demo stuff. That's a whole level of crazy I'm not at.
Yeah, no buses this year or anything?
I'd like to do a bus. I just didn't have the sponsorship needed to pay for a bus this year. So
damn money coming up again.
So maybe next year. But if anyone wants to come up with a good name for my derby car, I'm open to helping name a derby car.
I think we got a contest right there.
That does. We should put that up on the old book of faces and see if anybody comes up with anything good.
Go for it. I'm open for a name of the derby car. It's blue, and it's going to be number 94.
Blue 94. See, there you go. Other than that, just need a theme. Otherwise,
needs a theme. Yes. So the derby stuff. There's, I guess, four derby races the end of the month at the fair. One of them will have the school buses. Unless some magical funding come available, I'm not doing a school bus this year. But I'm looking forward to the derby stuff. That's always fun. It's always fun to wreck stuff.
Right.
I mean, when you want to wreck it.
I've heard conflicting stories on that.
Even tonight, Leo itself.
Saturday night at South Bend, that's no fun to wreck. Because then you got to fix it.
Right.
It's fun to wreck stuff, and you know that it's just going to the junkyard. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's pretty much leave it where it lies kind of thing.
I got to make it last 4 nights.
Yeah, it's better than an entire season or a couple seasons. So
there
we go. All right, let's see derby stuff. See, we covered that. You've had quite the off track here in 2021. Daughter graduated high school. Yes. You got engaged.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, kind of important stuff, man. Just to say bigger off track maybe so far this year than on track.
Yes. My daughter graduated high school. She and her her gymnastics team that she was on with Valpo won states in March. So that was really cool that she got to win states with them. And then she graduated. She is off to Pepperdine in sunny Malibu, California.
I'm sure you twist her arm to go there, right?
Well, She applied to there as kind of a whim because she used to watch Zoe 101 as a kid, and they filmed that show at Pepperdine's campus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She always thought it was a pretty show. So
right.
She applied there, got a heck of a scholarship that basically pays for everything, and the address of her campus is Pacific Coast Highway, and they say that from most of the dorms you'll have an ocean view.
Wow. Man.
I'm like, it's not a bad place to go to school.
We messed up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So I definitely did not have any kind of view at college. That's for sure. That's pretty cool. Got engaged to Sarah in May. So we'd been together 2.5 years and been living with me for a little over a year. So I thought, it's probably the right thing to do. Yeah, follow protocol here.
Yeah, I kind of love her, so there's that too.
Yeah, there's that. Always that. So, all right, let's go to the peanut gallery and see what we got going on here.
We've got several nuts over here. First one, I think we ought to hit Behringer first, just because his is the most important.
Yep. Yeah. How much funding is needed for the bus program in case anyone is interested?
$1,500.
Is that how much a bus goes for?
Yep, $1,500.
Where do you even get a bus? Where do you even get a bus? I'm curious. How do these people get buses?
There is a bus resale bus dealership out 30 towards Warsaw. I went and picked one up last year. Well, actually, we picked up like all of them, 10 of them, but I was in that crew that picked them up. And it's out that way. Or I guess since I'm backwards, it's that way. But whatever.
Somewhere.
It's out east of here.
There you go.
But the price last year, the prices were much more reasonable. But we'll blame it on Rona because everything else is blamed on Rona.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That, now they're about $1,500 a bus. So I didn't have that kind of funding this year.
So if you're looking to sponsor a bus, I got you a driver.
So I've had 2 top 3s.
That's 2
I've been
podiums.
third
Yeah.
twice. So
Hey, you just say podium and you're good.
yes,
It covers everything. You finished on the podium.
I finished on the podium.
Yeah, see, there we go. What's a derby car cost, anyways, in comparison?
Well, I mean, basically they're wrecked cars that Sandberg has that are going to the junkyard. So, like the Honda that I have needed a radiator and the front end's been knocked off. So
it was already halfway there anyway.
It's already halfway there. So, I'll take a sledgehammer to the hood and flatten it out a little bit and put a new radiator in it because, it's a Honda and I've got some Honda parts laying around.
A couple.
And we need to fabricate some sort of front bumper for it, whether it's out of, roll bar tubing, or if we can find, I think Sandberg has a bumper off an old Buick LeSabre on his derby car. So, I mean, they're, cheap. I mean, I'm not paying anything for it because it's one of the junkyard. But, if you wanted to buy, you could probably buy one for a couple $100 and, just go have fun with it. And that's really what I'm doing is having fun with it. Go wreck it.
Yeah, there we go. So for anybody out there watching that might be wanting to get in the derby circuit, there you go. Let's see what else we got over here.
This kind of feels like our Kenny Wallace episode. We got advice on how to get into derby racing.
Yeah, see, there you go. Didn't know you guys were signing up for that tonight, did you? Let's see. Yeah, Stan wants to know when your next CAT scan is. Also wanted to check what was in your cup because you're going drag racing in a straight line. So
it's only squirt. I promise. Only squirt.
For now, until later. So let's see Jason, you just stick around here, man, for our June recap and our July preview. I mean, we've already had a good time this far. I mean, I'm not going to kick you out now.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well stay.
You might as well stay for.
It might get good.
Yeah, yeah. If you're sitting at home waiting for this to get good, you are sadly mistaken.
You're getting called out now.
I'm getting in trouble. I said, don't get any ideas on derby racing. My back is bad enough already. That's true. Yeah, I got
a car for you. Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't tell her. That's why you go to the chiropractor, right? You bang up and he gets fixes you, right?
A little crack a lacking and you're all good.
Yeah, there you go. So let's see. It's past June. This month, this is kind of the recap section of the show. Grundy County Speedway. Let's see. First thing, S4 Motorsports actually found the racetrack. So yes, that's true. We did find the racetrack.
Every time I talk to Stan, he's always talking about going to these shows and telling everybody where he races. I asked him, are you going to go and race at some point? So I'm happy. I'm happy they found the way out there, and we actually got some pictures of the car on a racetrack that he can use to say, look, we raced.
Yeah, see, there you go. And maybe he'll pop in here and tell me when he's racing next, and we'll get that scheduled.
I supported one of the sponsors here recently, too.
We would love to hear that.
Yeah, it's always good.
The used appliance place here in Valpo.
Ah, yes, Affordable Appliance.
Yes, Affordable Appliance. I frequent, or I didn't frequent. I bought something there. I was trying to look at the big 50-cent word and I couldn't get over it.
Yep, he's all about sponsors first there. So Stan, take that one back. We can use that in the pitch this fall. So let's see what else we had go on. DJ Weltmeyer actually fixed his motor and got his motor going.
He had a bad night a couple weeks ago too.
Who didn't? I definitely know one guy who did have a bad night. Stevie Campbell, hard wreck there. He had a hard wreck lately. Michael Gerke's had a pretty hard one there. I don't know if it's that new pavement, making things a little faster out there, but definitely some hard wrecks. Definitely hope anybody that's been affected by those wrecks is on the mend.
I know Gerke's almost got his car back together, so prepare yourselves.
Right,
that's what the old Instagram tells me.
Yeah, the old gram and the Instas is out there. So also had Illinois State Championship night. Anthony Danta won the overall. That was double features. For the late model class, Ricky Baker and Eddie Hoffman took feature wins. Blake Brown got the mid-am overall with Kenny Benson and Blake Brown winning the features. Eddie Legui took the street stock overall win. He also took one of the features along with Scott Gardner. The Pure Stocks, Dan Schmeissing took the overall win there. He also took one of the features. Looks like you had to win one of the features to.
Just about, yeah. I think Danta got like second and third in the two features, something like that. He finished up front in both of them. Yeah,
and Trevor Starrick, he also got one of those Pure Stock features. The Super Cups, man, I love those little cars, man. Landon Hocking pretty much won everything.
Oh yeah, he just mopped up, swept the night, everything.
So there's that, and then Randy Weiss over there has a bounty. So the bounty and Grundy County Speedway kind of going hand in hand so far this season, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we had going on this past month over Shady Hill Speedway. Had the White Lightning showdown over there. Kurt Spalding took the win there. A lot of rain, unfortunately.
Yeah, lots and lots of rain. Everybody's getting wet.
Yeah, so that's kind of the one advantage of a dirt track, but then also takes a little while to dry out.
Mm-hmm.
So rain affects
it. Dryers don't work so well out there.
No, it does not work so good out there. And then they also had the Dirt Olympics out there, which I hear is a good time. Never seen it, but
I believe the big event this year was a tug of war. I know my brother was shooting that night, and the various teams were pretty much bribing him to be on their side of the tug of war rope. And if you know my brother, you totally understand that.
Yeah,
it's a good anchor.
Hey, we didn't say it.
Hey, no, I'm asking.
That was more of a question, not a statement.
Yes, he would pretty much cause whatever side he was on to win.
See, well, maybe they had the right strategy then.
Somebody had to take the pictures of it.
Well, see, there you go. It's kind of what you guys do.
We got to be impartial.
Do you have to?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Officially, yes. I tend to like drivers that buy pictures more than drivers that don't, but officially I'm impartial.
So, okay, that's just the front he's putting up. Get the real story here off camera. South Bend Motor Speedway, also plagued by rain, had autograph night earlier this past month. Had the Mini Gambler. Shane Clark took the mini stock feature win out there. Front wheel drive was Jason Harmon, and the Hornets feature went to Brendan Davis. And then, of course, the big one, the Gambler, Kenny Wallace came to town, finished fifth in the late model feature. That was ultimately won by Corey Ryman. Brandon Smith won the Sportsman feature, and then Ronnie Maynard took the street stock feature.
I'll tell you what, I want to call out Brandon Smith here real quick. That kid has done amazing things. I remember a couple years back, me and Ricky at South Bend, we were helping him unload his car out of his trailer back when he was in the street stocks, and he went from that to kind of one of those duct tape numbers slapped together sportsmen, and now he's out here. A couple weeks ago, actually Jay and I both got pictures of the power steering popped off and big huge fire under the car. He got it all put back together, and he's running the wheels off of it.
Just a couple years ago, he was running Hornets. I remember him running Hornets. He's really progressed nicely and turned into quite a racer. It was a couple weeks ago. I think it was the week before his car caught on fire. He passed Maynard on the outside for the win.
He did.
I was impressed. That was a nice run. That was a great race.
Yeah, it's always kind of cool to see those guys that have kind of progressed up through the ranks, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It is. One you missed, and I'll throw in here because I was impressed with her. JoJo Fadke in the mini cups.
Very much.
Gambler night at South Bend, and that was really cool to see her when she won her heat and the feature.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, we've seen her here a little bit at Grundy, and she's doing pretty good in those little cars, man. Pretty cool to see what she's been able to do.
Yeah.
Oh, turning the calendar to July, since it will be July here in just a few
couple hours.
A lot of racing events going on. I tell you, before we even get to the local racing events, I'm not sure if you guys have watched much of the Lost Speedway series that Dale Jr. did on Peacock Network, but season 2 drops tomorrow. I think probably officially at midnight. I'm guessing how these things kind of work.
Probably.
But that drops tomorrow. So I'm definitely interested to watch season 2 and kind of watch his journey with Myrtle Beach Speedway. I know that's going to be one of the tracks featured, and that was one of his home tracks. So a lot of us can kind of relate to, maybe that journey that we all took with Illiana or other tracks, maybe those out there who were from the old Crown Point Speedway or Raceway Park or places like that. So it'll be kind of nice to see his journey documented there to kind of go back to his old stomping grounds and do a show there. So I'm looking forward to that. Also coming up, Grundy County Speedway. Grundy County Fair is now on. So that is running through July the 4th, looks like, according to this. So Carter Memorial, that'll be on the 2nd here. So big racing there. Kids Night, which was rescheduled, will be on the 9th. ARCA Midwest Tour coming through on the 10th. Regular show on the 16th, but the mini cups will be back there. Jake Bradley Memorial 38 lap mid-am special on the 23rd. And then of course Super Cups back with the regular program on the 30th. For this month over at the South Bend Motor Speedway, night of features and some fireworks coming up this Friday the 2nd. Night of Destruction with more monster trucks and fireworks. I mean, if you want your dose of America right there, I don't know what says America more than monster trucks and fireworks.
If you've never seen a Kevin Sauer fireworks show, you need to.
Yes, that is one of the most impressive fireworks shows I have ever seen in my life.
I hear it rivals Disney, so
yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Easily. And I keep looking. I'm not looking away. I'm looking down at my phone. I'm trying to look up the fair schedule so I can give you dates of the derbies.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, yes. That would be nice. All right. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, because figure 8 derbies that you got going on there kind of sounds interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So,
they're a lot of fun. We wreck a lot of stuff. And, yeah. So let's see. We've got on July 25th is the Night of Destruction Derby demo night. And then on the 30th is also Derby, the night 2 of Derbies. And then the 31st is the figure 8, the Sandbergs Towing. Shameless self-promotion of
.com. There you go.
Sandbergs Towing figure 8 school bus derby, and I believe the cars are going to be there as well. So it looks like the 30th, 31st, and the 25th.
Nice.
Derby nights.
Right. So mark your calendars there.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see a little derby action, the Porter County Fair. Also coming up from the South Bend Motor Speedway, Border Wars. It's actually going to be at M40 Speedway on the 10th. Kind of interesting show that they're putting on there. A little Indiana versus Michigan action going on there. Dwarf Cars invade South Bend Motor Speedway on the 17th. Of course, we got the mini wedges on the 18th and the 25th. Backpack night plus the champ carts will be at South Bend on the 24th, and then the autograph night rounding out the month on the 30th. There's gonna be $1,000 to win for the street stocks. So that'll be a good show there. And the Shady Hill Speedway, 7-3 here is the 21st annual Firecracker 50. So that will definitely be a good show. They typically have done that on
that's typically on the 4th of July. So I'm kind of excited it's not on the 4th this year. It eases my schedule a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And 710 can be Fan Bingo, which is a makeup race from earlier this month. Again, one of those impacted by rain. $1,000 to win, 50 lap.
Yeah, actually, hold on.
On the 17th. Yeah.
Can I pause you just a second? That the makeup race there on the 10th from June 19th, I believe Ryan Lagaste out here trying to set records as the longest feature race leader. he has been leading now for about 2 weeks.
Nice. Always a good time there. See if we can hold on to that one and wrap it up. 17th, $1,000 to win, 50 lap 4-banger feature. 24th, Lucky 7 race number 4 for the Super Streets or Street Socks out there. 731 Ultimate Heartland Super Late Models, Renegades of Dirt Modifieds, Dave the Bullet Smith, the Human Cannonball. A lot going on to round out 731 in the month of July at Shady Hill Speedway. A lot going on, and tell you, looks like our other guest popped in for the night. Alex Clubb is here, so we will bring him in just a minute.
Actually late, but we got him.
Yeah, so Jace, we won't bore you and keep you around any longer. But before we let you go, I'm going to let you give a shout out to your sponsors or supporters, man.
Sure. Sandberg's Towing, obviously, I've already shameless self-promoted them here in Valpo. MoFast Speed Shop, Landmark Sign Group, and Left Turn Graphics. Can't forget Melissa. I mean, if you need graphics, see Melissa. She does a great job. And then, obviously everyone that helps me with it, Sarah, Chris, Her girls helped me, Sydney and Stella. They helped me with the car too, and my parents have been a great supporter since they've moved to Indiana. They've been to each one of the races that I've run, so that's really cool as well. So it's it's a family thing. It's good to have them all here, and I couldn't do it without their help. So I appreciate all that, and I don't know, Good Acre Photography helps me a little bit too. Trying to think who else. I think I named all my. Ape Andy Tiki Lounge. You got to thank Andy. He's the official hydration specialist of MoFast Speed Shop.
Yeah, different kind of hydration.
Yes, you got to have hydration.
Yes.
You don't have hydration. What do you have?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Just a whole lot of dry mouth. That's it.
Yes,
that's about it. So, all right. Well, Jason, man, thanks for coming on tonight, man.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's always fun, and hopefully I win next time I'm out at South Bend, whether it's Friday or the 17th, and then you can have me back on since I won.
Yeah, there we go. We'll make that a plan.
All right.
But
good night, guys.
You too. That was Jasonmoorhead. Now let's bring in our second guest of the night, Alex Clubb. Let's see, bring him in here. Alex, you there? Looks like his connection might be a little bit rough tonight. That spinning wheel, circle. Yeah, spinning wheel of death right there. I'll give him a chance to connect it back in. You got to love connections here sometimes. And he was here, and he has left the building. So we'll give him a chance to try to reconnect. See how well that goes. But yeah, always a good time talking to Jason. Always good having him on. Everything there. So.
All right, producer here is saying stretch for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Give him a couple minutes here.
Now might be a good time to tell a story about Nick Allen having to drive down to the local gas station to make sure he had cell phone service to call us in the night he was on.
Yes, that is a thing. One of the camping trips earlier this year, we didn't have cell service, so we kind of went into town, and you got cell service if you needed it.
Yeah, that's a good time killer right there. Who goes camping on weekends in the summer? There's races to go to.
It's better than camping in the winter.
Okay, that'll give you. Yeah.
I do, man. When you've been doing this racing stuff as long as we have, sometimes you got to get away.
I know. I had to go to a wedding earlier this year, and who gets married?
That's like your number one no.
Yeah, don't get married on a Saturday in the summer.
Yeah, it's like when Shiloh and I got married. That's the one stipulation you had.
Yeah, and didn't you get married on Crash Fest Day anyway?
Yeah, but who goes to that?
I had to.
Well, it was at least early in the morning. I mean, 10 o'clock.
I'll give you that.
Whatever it was, 11 o'clock. So that works out, man. But yeah, the camping deal, man, you got to get away. I mean, I got to change gears a little bit since we're part-time in it over here, So I think we kind of do what we do. So
yeah, that works.
Yeah. So while we're waiting for Alex to get back, man, a little shameless self-promotion for Good Acre Photography, right? What you guys got going on over there?
I had a weekend off, so I was able to get caught up.
What's that?
Really, I didn't have any photos to edit this week. I got a couple artwork things we got going on, kind of behind the scenes, but not really behind the scenes. Just not having to do 4,000 racing pictures and all have them up by Tuesday. So that was a relief. I got to actually sit down on my couch and not do anything for a good 5 minutes.
See, there you go. Let's see. Looks like he is back into the stream. Let's see if we can't get him back in here. Still got the little spinny wheel of death. Alex, you got us. Let's say that's a no, since we still got the little spinny wheel here.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. So Keith's asking, when is the next show planned?
Oh, this one's all on you.
Yeah, I don't know. We will probably try not to wait till the end of July. Probably be more like mid-July. But keep tabs on the Facebook page for updates. We'll post our schedule then there. So yeah, hopefully a few more weeks. We got a lot of things coming up mid-July. So I think mid-July would probably be a good, nice generic politician.
Schedule's been pretty stacked. So we got plenty to talk about. I'm sure we can find somebody to talk to.
Exactly. Speaking of talking to people, it looks like Alex maybe is here.
All right. Hey, there he is.
Hey, there he is. You got us there?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm driving to Joliet right now. you might have seen the fire that's going on in Morris. It's 1 block from my house.
Oh, wow.
So everybody's evacuated, and they were thinking maybe we'd be able to get back in at 9 o'clock tonight, and that wasn't the case. So I had to go get clothes and stuff for the wife and the baby to run to Joliet where everybody's staying. So
yeah, definitely. Saw that on Facebook, man. Wishing for the best for everybody out there. That's definitely an unfortunate deal there.
Yeah, but what can you do?
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
So I'm talking racing with you for a little bit while you're on the drive. Man, so kind of get me up to speed a little bit, man. Kind of talk about your racing background a little bit. You kind of come from a racing family. You've raced a little bit of everything, it looks like. Just kind of give us a little refresher, man.
Well, my grandpa started racing in the 80s. My dad started racing in the 80s. Pretty much everybody that's got the last name Clubb at one point or another has raced. Man, woman, doesn't matter. We're just a racing family. I started racing in 2000. My brother currently races. My cousins currently race. I pretty much ran every year since 2000. I've kind of kicked back a little bit on the local stuff, which kind of sucks, but with trying to run the bigger stuff, the budget's just not there to do both. But yeah, I've raced go-karts. I've raced, on the asphalt, 4 cylinders, street stocks, late models. I ran one night in the Mid-Am when a guy put the car in the wall head on in qualifying, and he had me run it. So I did get one night in the Mid-Am, even though it was destroyed. But I've ran pretty much all the classes except super late on dirt. And then, back about 6 years ago or so, I was working with a team and was able to get into a couple of ARCA races. And, I decided that was the route I wanted to go. I know I'm not going to really go any further than that unless somebody decides to drop a pile of cash and I find it. And that's probably not going to happen. But so I got my own car and dabbled with that a little bit, and then we got hooked up with some guys out of Ottawa, and we've got 6 cars now, and we're running the full schedule this year, so it's pretty neat deal.
Yeah, I was kind of curious, man, like how you get into the ARCA stuff, because finding a car to go race locally and, kind of get into it at that level definitely seems like it'd be a little bit easier than, trying to find the, car for the ARCA series and getting things going there.
Yeah, I mean, it's depending on what you do equipment-wise, it's not that bad. It's a little harder now with the composite cars. The steel body cars used to be a dime a dozen. My first steel body car I paid $6,000 for, and then I paid $9,000 for a combination of 2 cars for 2018. And then even my composite car that we ran at Kansas and Toledo, I was able to pick that up from a guy in Memphis. We had to do a year's worth of work to it, but I picked that car up for $6,000. So when we went to the track, I bought a used Dilmore motor. Everything's used transmission, all used parts. When I hit the track at Kansas this year, I had 25.5 in that car when I hit the track. So, you can do it affordable, but you also run like you're an affordable team. Then we have good cars that we also, we didn't pay it, but if you paid the new price, they're about $125,000 for a roller. We have a couple GMS cars that are Tim's cars that he drives. I just have an old car. It was built in 04. It's super heavy. My car, when it goes to the track, doesn't have a pound of lead in it. Our good places, those cars take 400 pounds of lead. So when you can get that weight nice and low in the car, it helps. You can get your rear percentages and stuff. So it's apples to oranges with equipment. That's why you see, 10 or 12 cars that are super fast, and then you've got everybody else. And I mean, even us guys that are in the series, we kind of make fun of it, and we call it, we're trying to all be the best of the rest. So basically, you've got guys that are all the run, you've got guys that are 3 to 5 to 10 laps down that are out there, we're struggling. We're running on used tires. We get takeoff tires from, we have a good deal with Gibbs eventually, so we're able to get tires for, $300 to $500 a set instead of $2,000 a set. So we can actually go, if we don't buy new tires, we can go run a race for about $5,000. We get a decent payout back. It's not great, but it's decent for what we're doing. So it's
sure, yeah,
affordable deal.
yeah, which I kind of want to ask about how you kind of formed a deal with Tim Richmond to form the Richmond Clubb Motorsports this year. I'm just kind of curious. It's a deal where you had some resources and he had some resources. Then you said if we just push them all in, maybe we'll be a little bit better, a little more strength in numbers.
Yeah. So the last couple of years they had been running, and they kind of don't have a whole lot of the know-how with things, but they had the budget, and we kind of have more of the know-how with putting race cars together, than having a budget. So we were actually able to. I got a hold of him because they were running, and he was going to run the dirt race with the steel body car in 2019. So that's kind of how our deal got to. Well, actually, we met in 2018 at Springfield or DuQuoin, and we kind of hit it off. We were talking, and I told them, because they were looking to get into it, rent a car and stuff. And I said, if we're gonna have a car for you, bottom of the barrel price, you're looking about $15,000 to run a race. And with a steel body car with an open motor, used tires, I wouldn't pay that. Nobody did pay that. I'm glad nobody did, because you're going to go out and run 20 laps down and, look like you don't really know what you're doing when you really do. But so long story short, 2019, they were going to go to the dirt race, and he didn't have any dirt experience. I reached out to him and said, hey, I've got my street stock that, we can go take to Kankakee because they've got a test day and get you some laps, because that mile track on dirt's pretty intimidating, especially when you've got no experience.
Right.
So we went there, he ran some laps, and, we just kind of talked, and they kind of had me come in and do a little bit of driver coaching with him and spotting at the dirt races. And then it moved on to a deal where we did some stuff at a couple of the asphalt races. And, I was just able to help him with lines and stuff. And, when you're on those tracks, it's hard to see, hard to do stuff. Not all of us that are low buck guys have a $50,000 car, let alone a $50,000 simulator. So we're kind of out there just guessing. And if you try to follow Ty Gibbs or a Venturini car, you follow them for about 6 seconds and you just watch them get smaller. So you don't learn much. We don't have the equipment they do. But so we talked last year, and his dad kind of had the idea that he wants to run the whole season, but with Tim's work, they can't do it, and we couldn't. We were looking at doing like 6 races. So we just kind of combined resources, and he had 5 cars. We had 1 car. They had 3 Elmores. We had 1. We've got a Yates motor. So he bought a shop out in Ottawa, so we've got a nice shop where we keep all the equipment. We go out there to work on stuff. We have 1 full-time employee that he's there 5 days a week and runs the car to the track, does all that stuff. So it's really a great deal that we have going on. We're pretty much as low budget as you can get, but what we're able to do is we're out there, we're competing with guys like Andy Hillenberg. We're running where they're running. We're all on the same budget. Like I said, you've got the guys that are fast, and then you got the rest, and everybody that's from 12th on back, we try to be the best of the rest is what we all joke and call it, but like I say, there's really a deal where you can do any budget. You can go there and you can run a race on $5,000, or you can go there and run a race on $40,000. You can buy 4 sets of tires and, you'll run real good. But at the end of the day, if you win short tracks, it pays about $5,000, and the bigger tracks is about 16. So for us with no sponsors, we're not at that point where we can afford to do that, or it would really help us.
Sure.
So we're trying to get the experience. We've got a 5-year plan. We're just working towards trying to be a lead lap car is what we're wanting to do. And then once we can do that, we can try to work towards actually being competitive and trying to run in the top 5. But right now we're actually pretty far off of that. But, we're racing with guys that what we've always done, me and my dad, we've always just outworked everybody in the garage, take lesser equipment, go out, win races. And, when you've got one full-time guy, you've got 6 cars, and you've got 3 or 4 volunteers that we have go to the track, you can't outwork 20 employees that Joe Gibbs or Venturini, any of those guys have.
Right.
That's completely out the window. It just comes down to speed equals cubic dollars, and the more you spend, the faster you're going to go. So we basically look at it as we're living the dream. We're out there, we're doing it. Are we running where we want to run? No, but at the end of the day, it's pretty cool to go to the tracks we're going to and get out there and run and, rub elbows with the Millionaire Club. And, we're definitely not that. We joke, we come to the track with a old dually pickup truck and a gooseneck trailer, and we're running with guys that bring, semis and backup cars and 20 people with them. And we go to the track with 8 people, and, we show up, and me and Tim, we push the cars through tech and work on them. And, the rich kids, they get to show up with their helmet bag and their $1,000 outfit and jump in a car that's perfectly prepared, and go out there and kick our ass,
Yeah, we definitely got to be, a sense of pride doing it that way versus, just showing up and, helicoptering her in like a Ty Gibbs or somebody like that.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. We love doing it. People kind of look at it as, why are you there? Why are you doing it? And it's one of those things of, most of the stuff that I've done racing wise, we've been able to run good. We've been able to win. We've won championships. And I love Grundy. I love, Fairbury, our local tracks. But at the end of the day, it just gets kind of boring after 20 years of doing it. And it's like, okay, well, I can spend, 60 grand on a late model and go run at Grundy, or, we can put a car together for under 30 and we can go to all these NASCAR tracks. It's televised. I'm coming up on 30 years old, so I know I'm going nowhere, but you're out there, you're able to do it. And it's all the same parts and pieces as the trucks. So realistically, if we were able to get our stuff together and say, hey, we want to move up to the trucks, we could literally buy a truck, throw the motor, throw the trans, throw the fuel cell in. And as long as it's an up-to-date truck, we can go race. So,
right.
We're not even close to that stage. We don't have a pull-down rig. We've got a nice surface plate, but it's one of those things. We're slowly working on it. Like I said before, we've got a 5-year plan. We want to try to get competitive. The way we look at it, when Brett Holmes and his dad, they bought into the series back in 2015,
right?
They didn't run good. They brought a Grant Enfinger in. Grant Enfinger helped them. He won a couple races. And, 5 years later, they ended up winning the points last year. They weren't even planning on running a season. I don't think that we'll ever be that caliber, but our goal is, 3 to 5 years down the road, if we could run in the top 5, that would be a win for us. And that's kind of what we're hoping for. So, it's a slow process. It's one of those things of, you can only buy so much stuff,
right?
And we can't really afford all that stuff. If you clip a car and get all the fancy stuff, you're looking at 15 grand to clip a car, get suspension, stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, we don't have the money for brakes and stuff like Gibbs has. They've got calipers and stuff that are 50 grand. So, they've got more in their brakes than we've got in our whole car,
Right.
So it's just one of those things that it's a great series. And I've told guys that run locally, if you can afford to run a late model, you can afford to run 5 races with an ARCA car. But nobody ever wants to make that jump, because if they can't go out there and they can't run up front or win, they don't want to do it. And to me, it's cool as hell just being there, rubbing elbows, doing what you can do. But, more other people, they want to go out there and win, which I understand. I'd love to win, but, like I tell people, if we're going to win a race, you're going to have the top 15 cars wadded up, and then we got a legitimate chance.
Well, hey, man, way some of those ARCA guys race, maybe that'll happen. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I'm kind of hoping maybe that'll happen at Springfield or Des Moines, lot up 10 cars, and then we can get maybe a top 3 or something. But
yeah,
we're basically, we're a field filler that we're trying to get faster and not be a field filler. So eventually, I think we'll get there. It's just one of those things that it all takes time.
Sure, absolutely. Now, how'd you guys kind of determine how you guys are going to split up driving duties this year?
Well, that was pretty much. I left that all up to Tim and Dave. It was one of the deals where it was more their deal than anything. I help with the setups and I go to all the races and crew chief the car. So I told them, I've got a car, I've got a motor. They told me they've got a spare car too in case mine gets wadded up. So it was a deal of, these are the races Tim's going to run, these are the races you're going to run. And I said, the only exception I'd like to have is I want to run Milwaukee because I went there as a kid. That was like our family vacation we took every year. We'd go to, we'd go to Milwaukee and then we go to the Dells after that. So that was the main track I wanted to run. And with it being so close and us not having Chicagoland, that's the track that we decided on that we're both going to run. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do with 2 cars at the track, which I think it's something that we can handle. So I'm really looking forward to it. And, it's everybody says it kind of drives like Springfield does. So that makes me even happier. And I'm excited for that because I love Springfield. It's a good track.
Sure. To this point of the season, if we're quite halfway through, we're probably pretty close to that for you guys. What kind of been your guys' highlight so far, you think?
Well, really our main highlight has just been that we've been able to finish races. We've only dropped out of 1 race. We lost the rear main seal at Toledo in our Elmore motor. So had that not happened, we would have finished. We've just had stuff that's just not gone real good. The highlight for us is probably the 2 top 10s when we were at Kansas and we were at Toledo. We ran pretty good at Phoenix. We had a little bit of issues, but we were able to get the car in the right direction. What we're happy with is we can show up to races. We're competitive with the back half of the field, which we want to be. The only place we went to where we were really the slowest car was Toledo. We had an issue with the front end binding up, and we just couldn't get the car to handle right or do what we needed. But other than that, we've showed up with decent cars. It's not like we show up with stuff that doesn't handle good. We're out there. We're semi-competitive. We're having a good time. So pretty much the whole season's been a highlight. Would we like to run better? Yes, but we know it takes time to become more competitive. So we're just taking it 1 race at a time, learning what we can. And, we get support from guys like Jeff McClure that helps Hillenberg. And, we got guys that are in there with Venturini that give us some information and help us with setup stuff. So, we're not going into it blind. Just our thing, don't have the parts and pieces that make it fast. Like you take a mid-am car, you can spend, $300 and redo your front end and you got a good piece. For us, it's, okay, well, we got to spend $15,000 to redo all this. And that's if we can find a team that's got it and willing to sell it and lets us bring the car there and they chop it up and do the work. So,
Sure.
At the end of the day, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, but it's a fun challenge. We show up and we try to just make the car faster. When we unloaded at Pocono, we picked up 3 seconds from when we unloaded to when we ran the race. And then, we had some issues where we got ran over the first lap and that ruined the aero on the car. And it was kind of just all downhill from there. And, then we had some overheating issues that, were kind of caused from that first lap deal. And we just kind of held on and did what we could. And, that was pretty much all we could do. But, we're there, we're living the dream. We're having a good time. We get a group of guys together. We got a guy or two that ride in the truck that tow it to the track. And then, we got 6 guys that ride in the RV, and, we show up, have fun, and go home.
Never sounds like a bad plan when you're going racing. Well, Alex, man, appreciate you coming and talking to us tonight. But before we let you go, I want to give a chance to thank anybody you need to thank for the journey that you guys are on.
Oh yeah, I want to thank my dad and my mom for all their hard work and keeping me going with the racing stuff and keeping me where I had the drive to keep doing it. And now that I'm older, they tell me I spend too much money and I need to quit. And so does my wife. But, love my wife too. She's right there with it. She's happy that we're doing what we're doing and running good. I want to thank Dave and Tim Richmond. They're great. Anything we need, they get it. And then I want to thank, our sponsors that helped us out this year. Steve Martin with Let's Party and Chantel Leisure with Chantel's Hair Salon and Day Spa. They helped us pretty much get our set of tires when we were in Kansas. And then I got Josh's Eggs. It's out of New Jersey. They came on board this year to help us out. And we just, we got a lot of great volunteers. Brandon Shepard, Brandon Greaves, Scott Seffick, Brad Fry, that's our main guy. We got lots of great help, guys that come to the track. They got that drive to be there because we can't afford to pay anybody really. So, we pay them with food and a good time. And, it's just fun to be there. When you pull a car out and you go, wow, we're sitting here in Charlotte. This is pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
So we love what we do, and it's just a blast.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely a little part of me is living vicariously through you guys. So,
Well, if you ever want to go to a race, let me know because, we got some in the area, and we're always looking for help and volunteers. And, just getting your hand on the car helps, pushing it through tech and stuff like that. So.
Absolutely. I will definitely keep that in the back of my mind for sure. Alex, man, thanks for coming on and talking to us tonight. We'll follow you guys around the rest of the season. And hopefully we'll make it to a track. And if not, man, maybe we'll talk to you again here later on in the year, maybe next season.
Awesome. Sounds good, guys.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Right. Yep. You guys have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Yep. Thanks.
Yep. Man, awesome insight there, kind of in the world of ARCA series, man. It's one of those series that, always kind of looks kind of cool,
Yeah.
Kind of that in between the professional NASCAR stuff, but still like those grassroots guys. Just awesome to see. Enjoy watching the ARCA series and definitely got folks to root for, down in that series. So, Chris, anything else before we wrap it up for tonight?
I don't know. I'm just crossing our fingers, watching the radar, hoping it stays dry this weekend.
Yeah. I think fingers crossed that after tonight, all the weather was supposed to move through.
Supposed to be good now. I hope.
Yeah. So we will see. Keep tabs on all that. But man, thank everybody for coming on and watching tonight. Got to thank Alex and Jason for popping in, talking some racing with us tonight. Always enjoy our time sitting and talking racing, and definitely look forward to doing it again. Again, if you're watching this, hopefully you've probably followed our Facebook and YouTube pages by now. If not, asked you please do that. Hit the little thumbs up button or whatnot. Let's go look here before we sign off. We have one question about any news on Stevie Campbell. Chris, have you heard anything else? I haven't.
Not beyond what's been posted already. I think the last report I saw was a broken kneecap and gonna need surgery and rehab for that. So thoughts and prayers with him. That was a hell of a wreck he was in.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That was kind of crazy to watch it. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy down there in the infield too.
I can imagine. I don't know if Stan had any in car on that because I think he was kind of hovering around that area.
Yeah,
so
the whole field was
yeah, really, the whole field was. But yeah, so definitely kind of crazy to watch. But definitely, our well wishes go out to him. Hopefully, he is on the mend and he gets better soon and back in the car sometime here soon. So there is that. So want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July weekend. Plenty of racing going on in July. So keep tabs on our Facebook and Facebook page. We're on Instagram and YouTube as well. I don't post much on Instagram because I'm lazy or I don't ever get to it. YouTube usually just piggybacks everything off Facebook. So Facebook's where it's at. Hit the Facebook page. Get on there. Get it. So with that being said, thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Chris, good talking to you. And, everybody,
we'll do this again next month.
Yeah, we'll do it again next month. And so keep tabs on the Facebook page for the schedule coming up. So until then, give everybody happy 4th of July. Stay safe out there and get your backside trackside.